Greetings, everyone. My name is Jonathan Bailey, and I'm from the website Plagiarism Today, which can be found at plagiarismtoday.com. Happy Friday, everyone. Time to drop talking about copyright and plagiarism news just for one day of the week and talk about something going on in technology news that's been on my brain. Now, usually, those who follow me pretty regularly know that I talk about browsers, i.e. Firefox and all that, but I don't really have a lot that motivates me or has encouraged me there. I'm still dabbling with Firefox, Aurora, 16 Alpha 2. It's been improving steadily. Still playing around with Google Chrome Canary, and also occasionally dabbling with Safari 6. Also looked at a little bit at OmniWeb recently, but not really anything I want to jump into and spend the full 5 to 6 minutes on. So instead I want to talk about what the other obsession in my life has been lately, and that's a game, Payday the Heist. Now if you're looking for a video of Payday the Heist, please feel free to click to another video. I'm not going to have it. This is just my personal thoughts, sort of a face-to-face, if I were talking to you on the street, review of the game. I have to do these very quick. I only got a few minutes a day to do these, so I don't have time to get and capture all this gameplay footage for you. Maybe if I hit the lottery or something, I'll have the time to do all that. But anyways, what's interesting about Payday the Heist is that we bought this game on the Steam summer sales right before we went to the United Kingdom. Left for it's about 2 weeks. Got back, and literally on the plane ride back, all we could talk about was resuming playing it and how much we were looking forward to it. And we've been playing it pretty much every night since we returned, and have really been enjoying it. The basic concept of Payday is, if you've played Left 4 Dead or Left 4 Dead 2, you've got the core gameplay. It's a team of 4 players working cooperatively against an entire universe of enemies. Now, and the difference is that in Left 4 Dead, it's a zombie apocalypse scenario you're dealing with, where the heist, you're planning and executing some kind of criminal, heist. Payday the Heist, you're like I said, you're the bad guys, and the enemies are police officers. And there are definitely a lot of similarities. They even get kind of, fine-tuned at some point, because in Left 4 Dead, you have the special infected, the boomers, smokers, etc. Here you've got special police officers, tasers, bulldozers, etc. And they kind of, in many cases, have sort of a, I guess you would call them a zombie version in the Left 4 Dead series, sort of a brother or sister there. But the reality is, it doesn't quite approach the level of sort of rip-offishness. In fact, obviously Valve doesn't feel that way. They're working with Overkill, the makers of Payday, on a project, and also have allowed Overkill to use some Left 4 Dead intellectual property in the Mercy Hospital mission. So it's obviously not something that Valve feels strongly about, and it's not something I feel strongly about either. Some have accused it of rip-offishness, but I think the 4-player co-op's the gameplay mechanic that is going to be reused by a lot more games moving forward, because it is a very compelling mechanic. And Payday does enough different to the point it doesn't feel like you're playing Left 4 Dead, but with police officers substituted. It's not mad rushes of police officers all the time. It's not, these brain-dead assaults. It's more of a tactical 4-player game. And also, where Left 4 Dead focuses mostly on keeping moving, getting to the next safe house, and the objectives are few and far between. Basically, every single mission in Payday focuses on completing this objective and this one, so you're not running as much as you are defending objectives and holding your territory. So it has enough of a different feel. It doesn't feel like the same game. And all in all, it's been a wonderful experience. So real quick, I'll go through what I do when I'm doing reviews. Is good, bad, best, worst. Say something good, say something bad. Find what I think is the best, find what I think is the worst. Do a wrap-up. I do this with movie reviews on Garbage Horror. Doing this here. The good. The gameplay mechanic. I'd mentioned how it's like Left 4 Dead, similar enough to really hit that same sweet spot, but different enough so that you can really, get a feeling that this is a different game. It really takes the best of Left 4 Dead and does something unique with it. I'm not saying some people are going to strongly prefer Left 4 Dead, some people are going to prefer Payday, but honestly, the mechanic is great either way. And what I really love about it is that it does a great job creating a very tense environment. The first time you go to pull off a heist, probably the first World Bank heist, you're going to really feel like you're committing a heist. You're going to case the place. You're going to do all the things that you would do if you were actually going to rob a bank. in your own head at least. And it really feels like you're doing it. And the replayability of it is nearly infinite, because I think we've done the First World Bank heist probably, at least 3 or 4 dozen times now, and it never gets old. We've done different difficulty settings, and every time it's just a little bit different, and that little bit adds a lot to it. It's just like Left 4 Dead in that regard. The changes might be subtle. Things get moved around, starting objectives get moved around, where the police officers come in from get moved around, but they make a big difference, especially to a tactical game like this one. The bad. The rock stupid API. The AI in this game can be rock stupid, especially on your allies, unfortunately. While the police that attack you seem to exhibit some decent tactics at times, the AI for your computer allies, if you have any, are pretty stupid. This is definitely a game best played with friends. At least one. Because if you have one other person on the team, you can kind of counteract those stupid AI. Because you have a call function, like you can call your computer allies to come to you, and that can keep them from running off and chasing a squirrel or whatever the hell else they found, and help them, hold the fort where you're at. But if you have just one person, it can be very difficult to rein in 3 people. So the AI is not that impressive, and this is a really big challenge for a small developer like Overkill, because AI, really good AI, takes a lot of time, a lot of money, and they probably didn't have, adequate resources to make the computer AI anywhere near as good as the AI in Left 4 Dead. So it can be a bit rock stupid, I'm not going to lie. The best. For me, the best is the environment in the game. I've touched briefly in the good about how it gives you that intense feeling. But the replayability of it, I think, is what I'm actually going to say is the best. Because not only are all the missions different, but you get upgrades as you go. And these upgrades really shift the balance of the game. You get different weapons, you get different skills, you can take more hostages, you can plant sentry guns if you get the DLC, which is, by the way, is totally worthwhile. It really makes it a very different game. And it gives you both greater powers, but also forces you to make some very tough decisions. Do you take the ammo bag or do you take the medic bag? Well, if you've only got 2 people on your team, like with Crystal and I, you've got to choose what you bring into combat very, very carefully. So yeah, definitely the upgrade system adds replayability. This is a game that, even though it only currently I think has 7 missions, and each mission lasts between like 15 and 45 minutes, you're going to be playing this game for a lot longer. The upgrade tree is huge, and it really does impact the game in bigger ways than I could have imagined. So the replayability of this game is great, and a lot of that does come from the intensity that it brings every time you play it. Finally, the worst, the single-player experience. My brother is the only person I know who's even really attempted at single-player, and he hates the game, and I don't blame him. I cannot fathom doing this game single player. Really, I love a good single player game. I love a good single player campaign. This game doesn't have it. The single player experience might be playable, but it's just not great. It's not good, and it's certainly not worth the price of admission. So my personal advice is, if you've got someone who is a good, dedicated partner, or you don't mind working with random people online and all that entails, I think you're going to find Payday the Heist to be an excellent game. But personally, I would play it only if you've got someone like, a husband and wife team, or siblings or something like that, where you can just set the time, play together, and have fun. Because if you try to do it single player, it's going to be rough. And honestly, I don't like random online multiplayer. It's just, there's too many jerks out there, really. So those are my thoughts on Payday the Heist. Take it for what you will. I hope you enjoy it. It is a lot of fun. I believe it is available for PSN and the PC. I've got the PC version on Steam. DLC, the Wolfpack DLC is out. That's $10. The game itself, we just missed another Steam sale, but it's $20 normally, and there's a deal on a 4-pack, so consider that as well. Well, all in all, my name is Jonathan Bailey, and I am signing off. I will see you guys Monday with additional copyright news.